Welcome to the Hook Pod. I'm Chunk.
And I'm the Chippy.
And on today's episode, we have Josh Berente. He is a lead mechanic at Pleasure Marine in Albany. Tell us a bit about Pleasure Marine, Josh. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me on the show. Pleasure Marine was started in, I think, 2010 in Fremantle by my boss, Damon Johns, and his wife, Emma. Damon actually used to work for a big company in Fremantle called Sea Power, and they were heavily involved with all the crayfishing boats and the crayfishing industry back in the day.
Yeah, right.
And, that sort of went under, I think, in 2000 and mid-2000s, and Damon was forced to leave and start up his own business, and he started up Pleasure Marine.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want me to sort of talk about my apprenticeship here first?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Was it a good one?
The apprenticeship?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a bloody awesome apprenticeship.
That's good.
So I did my time at GB Marine with Grant Stone. I think it's a 3.5-year apprenticeship I did there, working with Mick Doney and Caleb Fremantle.
They had a lot of experience between them two, didn't they?
They certainly did. Yeah, so I did my apprenticeship there, and then my partner at the time, she was up in Perth doing uni, so I decided to try and make a break from Albany and did a bit of work for Glyn Macbeth at Ross Elmore Motors.
Yep.
And that's sort of where I started getting more diesel experience and moved away from the outboard side of things. Then I ended up moving up to Perth, got a job at Pleasure Marine back in 2017, I think it was. And that's when I really started to learn boats and diesels and the bigger sort of pleasure vessels that they've got cruising around up there, and ended up gaining a lot of experience working for the team. Had an awesome young team when I started. The work environment was just fantastic. Sort of everyone got along, and it was a really really great place to work.
Yeah. Were you there from day dot with him or?
Nah, so he started back in about 2010.
Yeah.
And when I started, there was one tradesman that had been there from day dot, and then I think he'd had a couple tradies since I started. But
So you work on bigger motors like cats and mans and things like this, Steve?
Yeah, we specialise in marine diesel engines. So
Yep.
we're a dealer for Volvo, Penta, Yanmar, MAN, John Deere, and it's a pretty broad range of vessels that we work on. It's not just the bigger stuff. Like a lot of yachts have diesels in them, Yanmar and Volvo diesels. Even a lot of trailer boats have stern drives, so your Volvos and your Yanmars.
Volvo Pentas, things like that.
Yep. So it's a real broad scope of what
so
we
everything
do.
sitting in the pens down there, you can just about work on?
Pretty well everything, yeah. So most of the work we do is all mobile. So have a ute kitted out, and we go down to different marinas or on the hard stand at Emu Point and do what we need to do down there.
And down here in Albany, you're obviously based down here.
Yeah.
Do you have guys that work under you, or like who do you?
Nah, so it's just me down in Albany.
Yeah.
So what actually happened was, I think it was 2020, I decided I'd had enough of living in Perth. It started to do my head in, and
Perth's Perth.
Yeah, Perth's Perth. So I ended up telling my boss at the time I was going to leave and just sort of have a bit of a gap year and go up north and just take 6 months off or however long I wanted and
Go fishing
and surfing and camping and just do all those things that
live the life.
Because you know what it's like when you leave high school and you go straight into a trade. You don't have a break.
No.
You know, I was starting to get closer to 30 and I hadn't really done any of the fun stuff I wanted to do. So it was time to take a break. And when I told him I was leaving, he said, "Oh, what are you going to do?" I said, "Oh, I'll just float around up north and probably end up back home in Albany. That's sort of where I want to be. That's where my friends and family are." And he said, "Oh, what if we open up down there and you can run that?" So that's where Pleasure Marine Albany started.
Yeah.
How perfect was that for you?
Yeah, it was an incredible opportunity. So fortunate. Just the trust that Damon and his wife Emma put in me to, just trust me to run a business down here by myself, and had faith in me that I was going to uphold their reputation. And
yeah, it's a big thing, isn't it?
It was amazing. It was incredible. Still, I have days where I'm, driving to work and I'm thinking, wow, like I never thought I'd be able to come home and do what I know to do, what I have experience in. It's great.
Yeah.
And you've obviously got them in Perth that you can rely on.
Yeah, big time. So
Yeah.
that was always part of it. You know, everyone sort of in my ear saying, "Oh, why don't you just start up your own thing?" But having that combined experience of someone like Damon that is always a phone call away, and you know, instead of being out on your own in the big scary sort of wild world, you can just give him a call and he'll say, "Oh yeah, I've seen that happen before. Have you tried this? Tried that?" Or
Yep.
any issues, he's just a phone call away. It's fantastic.
Yeah, just someone to lean on.
Yep.
What did you do up in up north when you went up there? Few fishing trips?
Yeah, I just took my little tinny up there, little 3.8 metre Savage,
Yep.
and
You still had the pig up there?
nah, that's sold the pig just before that trip. Actually, I
Yep.
sold the pig and got a new car. And
Tell everyone about the pig because that was a weapon.
the pig, that was a 1992 Ford Maverick wagon. Had the legendary TD42 silver top in it.
Yep.
Had a turbo on it when I bought it. Other than that, it was full grandpa spec.
It was not grandpa spec under the hood.
Nah, well, sort of, yeah. Then I got my hands on it and did what every sort of young fella does with a GQ Patrol and just started.
Yeah.
Trying to make it like a Land Cruiser.
Yeah, that's eventually what ended up happening. You get sick of fixing things and you realise that it's time to upgrade to something a bit newer and something that's built to.
So what do you got now then?
Now I've got a GX 200 series.
Yep.
So like the Mine style, the Povo Pack 200 series.
Mate, nothing wrong with that.
No, it's
Vinyl floor.
yeah, it
Sand doesn't
really-
get in between the carpet.
really suits my needs. It's the vinyl floor is great. The barn doors at the back, everything about it. I just
Love
that vehicle. It's it's a ripper.
Tell us about some of the experiences up north.
Oh, I spent a lot of time around sort of the Ningaloo coast, Warra Station. The beach camping there is just phenomenal. A lot of the waves off there for surfing, you can only access them with a tinny.
Yep.
So, you know, you don't really get the crowds, and it's a more of a sort of adventurous aspect. You load up in the morning with your rods and your surfing gear and you go out for the day, and the surf's not great. You go for a troll and try get a mackie or bottom bash and get harassed by Rankin and sharks, and it's just great fun.
It's
So I
just
sort of
pristine, isn't it? Yeah.
pristine. You got you got your manta rays, your turtles, mid 20 degrees. The water's 20 something degrees.
You don't want to
just
get
in-
out of the water
Just
up
in
there.
paradise.
Yeah, it is paradise. That's the best way to describe it.
And then you get back to camp and you're camping on the beach.
Yeah.
That whole stretch, WA, we are so lucky. The Northwest went up and did like the Pilbara as well. My sister's up in Karratha. She's a teacher up there, so stayed with her for a while.
Yeah.
I think I spent 6 months cruising around up the Northwest and still barely scraped the surface of, what there is to see up there. I went and did one trip to Karajini, but you could go back there 3 or 4 times and still not see everything.
God, yeah.
It's it's a very special place. We're so fortunate to have that in our state.
Yeah, and like you say, it's such a vast range, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there's so many places up there, apart from the well-known ones like Karajini, and then you got so many more that the regular people or the tourists don't go to that the locals know about. Like Millstream, there's the ones over near Newman, and they're fantastic gorges and that, but they're not even talked about. There's so much more up there to go to.
There is.
And then you can get up to the Kimberleys, which is, just ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good around Karratha and that, Dampier. You fished out of there?
Yeah, did a bit of fishing out of there.
Lots of islands.
Lots of islands. That's the other amazing thing about that area is if you've got a boat, you could never get bored. Oh, I can't remember how many islands are in that group, but it's just insane. You've always got somewhere to hide from the wind and the whatever
Dampier
swelleries.
Archipelago.
Archipelago,
Is that how you say it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew you from back at GB's back in the day, and then down at Bremer Bay one year, I sunk a boat.
You did sink a boat. I think that might be one of the last times we'd really seen each other.
Yeah,
I think.
I reckon it was.
You haven't told me about that.
Haven't I?
No.
I brought this brand new 30 horsepower motor off these boys, upgraded from the 20. So I've stuck a 30 horsepower on a 12-foot tinny. Way overkill. Anyway, the boat's gone under. Wave crashed over. We'll dive and come in, and all of a sudden Josh is on the beach, and New Year's Eve, he goes, "Oh, I know how to fix this. I'm like, sweet. How do we do that? He's go buy as much metho as you can from the store on New Year's Eve and just flush it through the motor. So I'm there with a shopping trolley with like, I don't know how many litres of
Oh, I
metho.
thought you were going to have a good New Year's Eve, didn't they?
Yeah. Here comes a bit of white trash. And we're in the caravan park ripping this thing through. And
What does that do? Dry it all out?
I can't really. Yeah, that was all a bit of a blur back then. I was probably already had a fair few beers that day.
He was
but,
giving you the wrong tip, mate.
does it actually fix it properly?
I think the whole idea with metho is it just helps sort of evaporate any water that's left. And the biggest thing is you just want to get rid of any of that moisture out of the engine and stop that oxidization of the salt water and the air.
Yeah.
Get it running as quickly as possible, get some heat into it. And
They reckon 2 strokes are unbreakable, don't they? Was it a 2-stroke?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I only had 10 hours. I think it was 10.8 hours. As soon as I got home, I sold it.
Some lucky bloke.
Sold it to some bloke in Perth. He said, "Oh, I'm in Perth. Any chance you can bring it to Perth for me?" I said, "Sure, mate. No worries." I think I paid $3,000 for it or 3,200 for it, and I sold it for 2,800.
There's still water leaking out of it when
I
you
was
gave it
just
to him.
like, I don't want to know about it.
How did it sink, Jezza?
Wave over the side.
Yeah.
I had it, tied up in ways you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Tie off the bow, not the side, all right?
Yeah.
I was 20.
Yeah.
Always tie off the bow
Yeah.
with your anchor rope. It's a good thing.
What are the new things that have come about with diesel mechanics these days with technology? Has anything changed much on all these big motors?
Oh, there's a lot changing. There's always advancements, especially with, common rail diesel. That's been a big thing in the last 20 years, so there's nothing new about it. But the next big thing that hasn't really hit the marine industry yet, but it's coming, is just all of your sort of EPA regulations. So your exhaust after treatments.
Yep.
Your AdBlue and your DPFs, and
Is that into boats, AdBlue and that, like it is trucks?
it's starting to come in.
Yeah, right.
Personally, I've had no experience with it. I don't think it's coming into Australia just yet.
Yep.
But I'm sure it's something that we will begin to see.
And that's all for emissions.
All for emissions control, yeah.
Yeah.
They certainly keep bringing in all these new things for vehicles, don't they?
They do. It's getting worse and worse. I'm definitely not sold on the whole exhaust after treatment thing. I think if it's all working as it's designed to, it's a great thing, but it doesn't tend to work very long. And yeah, you tend to sort of seem to be throwing more parts in the bin and manufacturing more parts than having a solid, reliable engine that's,
Yeah.
built to last. And it all seems very wasteful, which is a shame.
I was talking to a fisherman the other day and he was saying he's going to put a new he's got like a 60-footer or something, and he was telling me that he's going to put a new engine in it soon and save a lot on fuel economy. So obviously
Yes.
Newer engines can save you a lot on.
Big time, yeah. So depending what he's going from, I think I might know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pete, he's going from a big old sort of mechanical injected engine. They were never really that bad on fuel, but as soon as you move to the newer common rail technology, you'll see sort of 30% fuel savings, which
Wow.
over a season can be massive.
Absolutely, for commercial guys.
Yeah, like some commercial guys, if they're running flat out all year round, they'll have their engine paid for in 2 to 3 years just in fuel savings.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So it's a massive upfront cost, but yeah, if it's in a commercial application, you can definitely justify it.
Yeah. Plus you get tax deductions and all those sorts of things. So, wow, that is massive, isn't it?
Isn't it?
I was just talking to someone recently about our new motors on our Cat. We're getting, I think it's 1.2 kilometres to the litre for both of them combined.
Yeah.
Wow, we hardly use any fuel.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's impressive, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we started back in the day with an old wooden boat with a massive Evinrude on the back, which was the size of a mini miner.
Yeah.
Well, we used to have to fill that fuel tank up a lot. Technology's come so far, hasn't it?
Oh, it has.
Yeah,
And
especially the new 4-strokes are fantastic.
they're a great thing. And to give, a bit of a comparison, I've got a little 5 metre plate alley runabout with a 70 Yami on it, 2-stroke, and that uses similar to what your twin Suzukis are burning on a on a 7-meter cat. So
Yeah.
the 4-strokes have been an incredible thing for fuel saving and just range in general. If you're getting into that touring up in the Kimberley and stuff, being able to get 2 to 3 times further on the same tank of fuel is just it's incredible.
Yeah, I think our tanks are 200 litres each side. You've got 200 kilometres or
When we did that Dirk Hartog trip.
No, I can get over 300 kilometres.
We filled them right up when I went with Brad up to Dirk Hardog. I think we done 360 kilometres on water.
Yep.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah, it's huge. I think we still had 50 litres maybe in the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you said that. Yeah, so you actually camped out for 2 nights and everything, and you didn't have
3.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about the fuel at all.
Yeah, we drove from Albany to Perth on water.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. For the average, for like the Cat, for example, can you get like a diesel engine going on that?
Yes.
As an outboard, I suppose is my question.
Yeah, so now Cox, there's a couple different brands now that are doing the diesel outboards.
Yeah.
They're still relatively new.
Yeah.
And it's really just the price point that I think drives your average punter away from them. But you'll get a lot of, I think, like polar, guys touring around in the Arctic and that. If they're running off a big diesel mothership, they like the idea of having a diesel outboard so they can fuel up off the same boat. They don't need that combustible, unleaded on board.
Yeah.
And the range, again, they're boasting like a 30% fuel saving on top of what you usually get out of a standard outboard. So even better again.
Because diesels love running under cold conditions, don't they?
They do. Well, I mean, there's sort of an optimum point, an optimum temperature where they like to be run at.
Yeah.
But having that cold air and that never-ending cooling of nice cool water, you can definitely squeeze a lot more power and efficiency out of them.
Yeah.
So, that's why you'll see a lot of pleasure-rated diesel engines that are, say in a car, they may only be putting out 150 horsepower, but you get the same engine in a marine application that's putting out 300 horsepower all day, every day. And, it's usually because you've got that constant cooling water there of, mid 20 degrees. Whereas in a car, it can be anywhere from 15 to 50 degrees. And, depending what you're towing and how you're driving the vehicle. So.
Yeah. That's always been my understanding, because the truckies love driving at night because it's just, the cold air's just going straight in through the intakes.
Yep. Exactly. It really helps with efficiency.
Yeah.
There is less maintenance on diesel engines than that, isn't there?
Oh, yes and no.
No, for vehicles, I mean, not
coming back to your after treatment systems, there used to be a lot less maintenance with diesels.
Right.
But these days it's, if anything, it's worse. Cars seem to be going back into the dealership after 50,000 Ks to get major repairs done for, DPFs
or maybe they're limping back in.
Yeah, well, that's it, limping back in. And a lot of people are going petrol these days for that reason.
Yep. I only did it for a bigger car, that was all. And the Land Cruiser didn't cut it when you're towing a big boat.
You should have brought a 25.
Yeah.
A mate of mine just got a 25, went from a 1500 to a 25.
I don't have enough money to do that, mate.
I know.
Oh, Chunk over here wanted to do that, but he ended up buying a 200 series. I think that'll do him for a while.
Yeah, well, same reason.
So
takes a bit of money.
The idea of that is you can actually tow a smaller caravan. You don't need to get a bigger caravan. You go to a 25, you're going to want a 30-foot caravan, mate.
That's right.
That's the thing. I don't know about that.
Yeah, when you've got 4 kids, though.
Yeah, I wanted to. I was hoping to stay down to an 18-foot caravan, but that's not happening.
Yeah. Well, that's why you only want to get a 3-litre turbo diesel then, mate. You'll be right.
I just want a 25 because it's a diesel. That's the only reason.
Oh, yeah. Cummins are pretty hard to beat, aren't they?
Yeah. They're a fantastic engine.
And they have them in all those big school buses in the US. I was watching a guy and they're just the best engine you can get. I got the Hemi, which used to be in World War II, mate, in jets and not jets, in bloody... what do you call them? I don't know if they were in fighter planes. They probably were in fighter planes. 5.7 litre Hemi. That should be all right.
An American muscle.
I just like the idea of it being in World War II, mate.
Yeah. It's a pretty comfy car to roll around in.
Well, it's an engine that's been around for a long time.
Yeah, that's it.
So they should have ironed everything out by then.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Tell us some shonky stories you've seen in your time without mentioning names.
Shonky stories.
Yeah, sure you got one or two in your head.
Oh, you'd have one about a bloke who was at Bremer whose engine went underwater, wouldn't you?
Yeah, not my engine anymore.
Yeah, blokes anchoring their boats using the gunnel and all sorts of wild things.
What breaks most motors?
Oh, mechanical neglect.
Yep.
Just
Maintenance.
Yeah, and I guess that sort of, you want to talk about shonky stories, almost every yacht I jump on board down here is pretty shonky.
Well, you're supposed to use the sail. They don't use the engines very often.
That's what they tell themselves as well. And
so they get neglected.
They get neglected.
Yep.
And, you know, you can understand why, but what'll kill a marine engine is just neglect and corrosion. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't sleep whether you use the boat or not. Once it's got that salt water through the system, that corrosion just keeps on eating away. So cooling systems are the big one that get neglected.
No amount of metho will fix it, eh?
Yeah, you can get as much metho as you want, but yeah.
We got that problem with our dishwasher in the business here in Albany.
Yeah.
Mate, corrosion.
Yeah.
The water's not that crash hot down here.
No, and it's the same thing. You know, some guys with their trailer boats, with their diesels, they still try and do the right thing and flush the engine out with fresh water, but you've got just as much calcium and crap in there. It's sort of, you get rid of some salt, but you're introducing a lot of other crap into the system that does just as much damage.
Yeah.
Mm.
You can't win. I guess that's why I have a job, because I'm here to fix the cooling system when it decides to let go.
Fair enough. What's a typical motor you see in a yacht?
Oh, they're usually a 2-3 cylinder.
Yeah, because I can't imagine they're too big, you know?
Nah, I mean, some of the bigger yachts, they'll run a bigger 6-cylinder or something along those lines, but usually they're just a little Yanmar or Volvo Penta, which are based off a small Perkins engine.
Yeah, just something to limp them home.
Yeah, they're only around that 20-30 horsepower mark.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of the guys, they'll only use the engine to get in and out of the pen or if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that easy sailing into a pen, would it?
Definitely not. There's a few guys that can do it, but it takes a lot of experience, and
Yeah.
it's not something I'd like to have a go at.
No.
Depending on where the wind's going too.
At least you got a reverse button with a motor.
Yeah, exactly.
So the old fallacy about having an inboard outboard, like these Volvo Pentas and legs hanging off the back and that, and everyone says, oh, no, don't get one of them. They're bloody... Is there any truth to that?
Well, one of the biggest things down here is there's never really been anyone that specialises in working on those types of inboard engines. So that was always a big thing down here is, you know, if something lets go, you got to try and find someone to repair it or get parts. And
most of the guys down here are all outboard.
Yeah, they all stick to their outboards and they try and handball as many inboards to me as possible.
Yep.
Which is a good thing. If they're a diesel, it's a great thing. But it just comes down to maintenance again. There's a lot of inboards setups that they do get neglected. You know, they might get an oil and filter change every year, but everything else gets overlooked. So that's where we come in, where we go right through the whole package from your drive system through your cooling system, engine oils, filters, all of that. And
we fished up north when we took our trailer. It was about a 23-footer with a I think about a 150 on the back in the day. And the guys that we went up there with, they had big 25-foot alleys and they had, inboard motors in them.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. And heaps of go. I don't know what was in it back in the day, but I sort of grew up, you know, just thinking, I don't ever want a boat with an inboard in it. But I don't know why. I think I just heard that. People
I think
just
it's always been the mentality, hasn't it?
Yeah, just have one hanging off the back. It's a lot easier to work on and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. And there is some truth to that. And it comes down again to the application of what you want to use the boat for. You know, if you're just cruising around locally, outboards are the way to go. But if you've got a bigger, heavier vessel that demands a lot more grunt to push it up through the water, or if you're wanting to do that long range stuff where, you know, economy is what you're chasing, then you just can't beat the diesels. The diesel inboards just blow everything else out of the water.
Yep. It's a lot like diesel towing vehicles, isn't it?
It's the exact same principle. You know, the petrols do the job, but if you throw a 30-foot caravan or boat behind a petrol, all of a sudden your 18 litres to the 100's going up to 35 litres to the 100 and the engine's revving its head off.
That's why you brought a diesel chunk.
I won't be buying a petrol unless they stop making diesels.
That could happen one day.
It could
You
happen.
never know.
It could happen, but
could.
that means they'll stop making diesel trucks too.
Yeah, well, they're making battery-powered trucks now.
They're the ones that have the big diesel generator on a trailer on the back
Do they?
to charge. That's usually what they need.
That's backup.
That's usually the theory behind it.
Yeah, I can't imagine them going from Alice Springs to Arnhem
No,
Land with a battery-powered truck.
Yeah.
From your experience, Josh, do you think that a thing into the future, like 10 years down the track or something, when you're working on big diesels in these boats, are they ever going to be electrified?
Yeah, they're already moving in that direction where they're pushing hybrid technology. So they'll have an electric drive motor that's charged by diesel, and there'll be certain conditions where you shut down the diesel genset and you run just off electric. With the way technology is progressing, I don't doubt it'll get there one day.
Yep.
But we're definitely not there yet. The battery capacity is not there, and at the same time, I guess you got to look at what you're trying to achieve. Like, sort of
The batteries are expensive as well.
they're expensive,
Yeah.
and you're sort of just robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, you still got to charge them somehow, and that electricity doesn't come from nowhere. It might come from wind or solar, but
You'd have to have a large roof to put solar on the roof to charge it.
And a hybrid's probably not a bad way of going around it, is it? Because
Definitely.
Which are what the cars are now too.
you still, out on the water, you got to have some kind of fail-safe. You can't just leave your boat on the side of the road.
Yep.
So
And that's what a lot of commercial applications, they got to have the redundancies in place. So all of a sudden, instead of having two main engines, you've got, you might have two backup main engines as well, just in case your main engines fail to power the generators. And there's all the cost just blows out massively. And then you sort of look at what you're actually saving. All of a sudden you're making double the amount of engines just so you can use an electric engine.
Yeah, it's a bit like that scenario when it comes to putting panels on your roof for your house, and then you think, do I need a battery? And you think, well, the cost of a battery is going to bring my power bills down, but is it going to cover the cost of the battery over 10 years? And then you got to rechange your battery out. And
Exactly right.
if you're not using a lot of power at night when you're not generating it, it's probably not worth a battery. But if you've got 10 kids at home and you've got air conditioner on every night and, many other things happening, well, it's worthwhile.
Now, we always ask everyone about a unique food experience. Where have you been, seen, done that not many people would have experienced?
Last year, I was fortunate enough to go over to the Abrolhos Islands, and we were there for Pearls and Plates, which was a big fancy luncheon on one of the islands over there.
Yeah.
I went over there with Reece Jones from Westerberg Marine.
Yep.
And Reece Newbold from Due West Charters up in Perth. We spent about 5 days over at the islands, and we went over to do this luncheon one afternoon, and that was just incredible. It's a whole different world over there. You've got some big 60, 70-foot cray boats, and you've got a helicopter bringing people in. And
No way.
and then, you've got these chefs, world-class chefs that are cooking up local seafood and Akoya meat from the Akoya pearls, and that was a pretty specky day to be out in the middle of the ocean on this wind-blown island eating some of the best food I'll probably ever have.
There's not many people who come on and talk to us and they don't talk about seafood when it comes to a meal, because it is pretty special, isn't it?
Oh, there's something about it.
Yeah, you can just imagine doing that.
Yeah. And then it would have all come straight out of the ocean that morning and onto your plate that afternoon.
Yep. As far as I know, a lot of it was sourced from that region.
Yeah.
Fresh as, prepared just flawlessly.
Do you fish much, Josh?
I do, mate.
In your spare time?
I fish a lot. I don't catch a lot, but I do.
What do you like going and catching?
I love going out, sort of just doing some inshore stuff, jigging and trying to get a dewey, but never seems to happen.
Might not be able to catch one soon.
Yeah.
Doesn't look too good.
It's not looking too good.
Have you got a decent boat?
Just a little 5-metre runabout, mate.
That's big enough.
Little Cleveland. Yeah, it's a weapon actually. It's got plate hull. Got a new fuel tank put in it by Westerbergs, and I've taken it out to the shelf a few times. It's a great little boat.
Yeah.
Biggest fish you caught?
I got a big pinky a few years ago. with a mate of mine. That cracked the metre mark.
Wow.
Oh,
And that got a bit of a joke. Ever since I got that fish, I've had a pretty crook shoulder. So call it pinky shoulder. And yeah, a few of the other boys have cracked that metre mark, and they've all sort of got
You had got
pinky
on an
shoulder.
egg beater, did you?
I did, yeah.
Good
little
work.
light jig set up, 30 pound.
Out of Albany?
Out of Albany, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, out towards Chains.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was the only fish we got all day.
No other reports of great catches?
Oh, I've had some pretty arsey catches actually. I got a John Dory not long ago, and apparently they're pretty hard to come by.
Good eating?
yeah.
Yeah, one of the best eating fish I've ever had. Yeah, John Dory got a nice dewy, 13 kilo dewy off Breaksea Island, which is
Wow.
that was another arsey one.
What
Yeah.
a great fish, 13 kilos.
That is a good one.
Yeah, that was out of my old tinny, my little 4.2 metre dory.
Yep.
Yeah, caught a lot of good fish on that trip I did up north as well. That's probably where I've got some of the best fish I've ever had. Just
There's so many species up north, isn't there?
it's incredible.
You can just about count on, both your hands the species you're going to catch down here.
Yeah,
But when you go up there,
yeah.
you haven't got enough fingers.
Need your
There's
hands.
so-
Need your feet as well.
Yeah.
What's your dream boat? If you were to, you've
Oh,
obviously seen a few boats
dream
in your
boat.
time.
Yeah, I mean, there'd have to be a few different categories, I guess. Pete Westie's boat, Dawnbreaker, the 60-foot Conquest, that'd have to be up there with one of my dream boats.
Yep.
Not very practical for the sort of fishing I do, but for doing island expeditions and stuff like that, if you had the budget, something like that, I don't think they get much better than that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, for down here, just a Westerberg, probably an Aurora, they're a fantastic vessel. Something like that. You can still tow it with your cruiser. You don't need any crazy tow vehicle, and
Yeah.
still handle the thing by yourself, launching and retrieving by yourself. So
Yeah.
something like that.
Alley keeps the weight down a bit, doesn't it?
It does. You don't get the ride out of a alley boat like you do a glass boat, but there's trade-offs everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Pros and cons to everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So you're going to be a mechanic the rest of your time, do you reckon? What have you been doing with Pleasure Marine now? About 8 years?
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely a passion of mine. I don't see myself doing anything else. It was always the goal to get back home and do something in the marine industry, whether it was mechanics or I'd never really pictured myself becoming a marine mechanic. I was more interested in boats themselves, but here I am spinning spanners in bilges most days and has its moments. But
I
yeah.
presume
As any job does.
Yeah.
there's plenty of work for you down here anyway. But
There is, yeah. Like I was saying earlier, it ranges from small yachts to the bigger commercial vessels, and do a bit of work at the port as well on their pilot vessel down there.
Yep.
There's plenty of boats around, and yeah, there's plenty of work, and Albany's only going to grow and grow, and
Yeah.
it's good to be down here and have a foot in the door for when that does happen. This was always about a lifestyle goal, mate. It's just to be home doing what I love doing. It's fantastic.
Yeah. That's great. Good on you.
Thanks for coming in, Josh.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having a good chat with us.
Yeah. Cheers, Josh. Cheers for coming in.
Cheers.
This episode is sponsored by Hooked on Middleton Beach, twice voted Australia's best fish and chips, 2018 and 2024.